How you doing? How you doing? And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Petty, and I appreciate you stopping by today. And today, we getting into a little bit of gaming news. So essentially, there were just two awful stories today that I read. One of them we're gonna get much more in depth than the other. The first one is really just a petty inclusion on my part. So. Y'all know how I feel about Raid Shadow Legends. There is some shade to be thrown there. I think that they should be investigated for fraud, and honestly, someone needs to be checking them books. Them boys lying, and they deserve to have lawyers all the way up their shit. We're just being honest. We're just being honest. Today, we're talking about them because they essentially have gone through and removed a deal through BlueStacks, which if you guys aren't familiar, BlueStacks is essentially an emulator that will allow you to play Android games. When we do first look videos, a lot of the times we're using either BlueStacks, LD Player, one of these emulators to essentially show the game on PC because it's super easy to record that way and everything. Otherwise, I'd try and have to do it on my phone and it'd be a hot mess. So what do we mean when we say they pulled out a deal? So essentially the way that BlueStacks affiliate program works is you can get paid for the installs and downloads of new accounts on these games. If people with accounts already in these games try and use their links and play them, doesn't do anything. Essentially their whole goal and focus is new players. Now, you guys might be surprised to find out that these game companies actually work directly with these emulator companies and essentially pay them for new players. BlueStacks essentially comes in and sets up an affiliate program with content creators. Those content creators get people to install. BlueStacks then takes a portion of that ad money that they gotten from the game developers, gives that to the content creator, and then they keep them a nice little piece. It's a decent ecosystem. Even Genshin Impact has deals. If I wanted to, I could sign up for that section and have a promotional thing running through that. I'm pretty sure, unless they kick me out, a BlueStacks affiliate myself, something that we got up to in the Dragon Raja days, but it wasn't something that I promoted very heavily. It was just a link that I had in the descriptions in the videos. Now, the reason that this is kind of a big deal for the Raid Shadow Legends community is that this is a fair amount of income for them. They get a decent amount of installs through this. And in terms of mobile games, there are very few communities on either YouTube or Twitch from the mobile genre that has the staying power that Raid Shadow Legends is. It supports a fair number of pretty good sized content creators, way bigger than your boy, way bigger than your boy. So this isn't going to affect just a small number of people. This is going to hit a decent number of people in the pocket. Now, Plarium is well within their rights to decide how they want to spend their ad money. But this is already a company with a lot of shady history, in my opinion. I just don't see this being a good faith move. I see this, and I'd highly suggest you guys go check out Darth's video for a much deeper dive into this and explanation. But it's I feel like they think they were losing money there. No idea why, because new players is new players, and your entire game is designed to trick them into spending a little bit of money because you have targeted ads that will essentially increase in value until they start spending money, and then they'll start dropping down the value that you're getting in the packs. Like, that's your whole thing. So it honestly just comes off as a greed move. Like, everything is set up in your game to take advantage of new players as much as possible. So it just seems greedy. But this isn't the big thing for today's video. That's basically it on our first story. What we're really here to do today, sit on Twitter. That's right. So if you don't know who Jason Schreier is, when it comes to video game journalism, this man is God. Okay, this man is God. He has broke countless stories. Like, he is just a huge figure within video game journalism, period. Even journalism, just on that grade alone, he is like our Wolf Blitzer. This man does work. So if you don't know who he is, go look into him a little bit. I'm sure you're going to find out all kinds of fun stuff about video game history because of it. But just so you understand who he is and why a lot of this can be taken at pretty much face value. Like, that this man is rarely wrong. He never misses. He works for Bloomberg. He got his sources, okay? That's Bloomberg money, okay? Enough money to scare poor people like me. We ain't gonna say nothing bad about Bloomberg. We'll take shots at Raid Shadow Legends all day. Them and Forbes? Nope. Y'all great. Don't kill me. So, essentially what we have here is, yesterday it was announced that Blizzard is laying off 50 people. You might be like, Patty, that's making a whole video for that and to take a few shots at Raid Shadow Legends. What the hell, bro? No, this was the initial report. We're starting off with the first tweet. The story gets a little deeper from there, and then we're going to take you guys on a history lesson for anyone that isn't familiar with the history of Blizzard layoffs. So, let's go ahead and go through this. Just filed to Bloomberg Terminal, Blizzard is laying off 50 people today in its live events department as it plans a strategy shift post-pandemic. This news arrives a month after Activision Blizzard once again announced record revenues and upped dividends to shareholders. That should sound really familiar. That should be ringing a bell like you've heard that before, but we're going to keep driving on past that. We'll get back to that later, I promise. Players are increasingly choosing to connect with our games digitally, and the esports team has had to adapt its business due to the impact the pandemic has had on live events, an Activision Blizzard spokesperson tells Bloomberg. More, it wasn't just esports and live events. Activision Blizzard laid off Activision Blizzard also laid off others across the company, including at King, developer of Candy Crush. No. Just kidding. I've never played Candy Crush. I know. Mobile YouTuber, no Candy Crush. It's shocking. Sources tell Bloomberg an Activision spokesperson confirmed but did not say how many other people were laid off. Oh. Sorry, Shinjin. I didn't even see this. Can't confirm one of the people fired today at 9 a.m. Sorry, sir. So that is the first set of tweets. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second set. More on today's Blizzard layoffs. Oh, I think we can just click on this one and it should... Yeah. Dozens of people at the whole company were impacted, not just in live events. In addition to 90-day severance and a year of health benefits, laid off staff received $200 Battle.net gift cards. Bro, just shitting their lunch. Just open up the little baggie they brought from home, squat down on it, take that shit. $200 gift card for your product. It's part of the severance package. Whew. I'm petty enough that we almost made the entire video just off that fact alone. Hey, sorry we gotta let you go. Here's $200 that you can give back to us when you want. Yeah. Just how? So let's continue before we move on. So Activision Blizzard had originally announced that the layoffs were 50 people in the esports live events department, but the real number appears to be much higher. Person familiar says it was less than 2% of total staff. 2% would be around 190 people. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's almost 4 times the amount that you confirmed. Like, oh yeah, we let 50 people go from the live support thing, but it's because of Rona, guys. It's because of Rona. We're having to change. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a good excuse for those 50 people. Maybe. You sure you couldn't have repurposed them? I mean, you said you're changing. Yeah, we'll skip that part. But you only accounted for 50 in your original statement, and we're seeing that it's potentially up to 200 people. What's the rest of it, bud? What are you doing there? What's up? What's up? So, a few of you might have your ears ringing right now and be like, Patty, that sounds so familiar. I can't place why, but all of this just sounds so familiar. And it should. It absolutely should. I'm about to click on another tab and bring up another wave of their layoffs from a few years ago, and I can't even tell you with confidence which one it's going to be. It's going to be a surprise for both of us. Ah, this was the bigger one. Okay. Jesus, it's just hard to keep up. So a few of you might remember from the long ago in the faraway time of before 2020, in 2019, Blizzard laid off tons of people. From the tags in the article you can see behind me, it was over 800 people. And this is again within that same window of having record profits for the company. A company, mind you, that is one of the most successful video game companies of all time. Of all time. I don't know where I would put them on a top 10. Maybe when we become a big trash YouTuber, we'll go ahead and do silly tier lists like that, but it's just not today. We can't pull numbers on something like that. But they are doing great. Doing great. Better than they've ever done, even though they're failing to add new intellectual IPs to their roster and just kind of milking the out of the rest of the games they have now. Anyway, did y'all see that Overwatch 2 clips? Looks cool, right? I mean, it definitely doesn't look like you're just running through the same levels we already have fighting AI, which is something they let us do 3 times a year anyways. Yeah, that's definitely not what that entire game is looking like. Anyways, this should be very familiar, because along with this other set of layoffs was also a very well crafted PR excuse for the layoffs. It's gonna be flipping a coin here. Either this one was the, oh guys, don't worry, these are all non-development people, or this is the one where it was all of their marketing. Oh, we'll have to check the other article. But Blizzard has a history of doing this. A rather recent history, which is continued every single year. Every single year. The article we're looking at right now is from 2020. In November, they, again, and I actually centered it on the PR message, because they're crafting very good reasons for those that are likely to write it off on their behalf to accept, but it's just we're just laying off some people, guys. I swear to God, we got a really good reason for it. We're really sorry, and it's the same old story. And you might be wondering why this is becoming such a consistent thing. 2019, 800 people. 2020, how many was this one? This one was reported around 100, but there's mixed things saying that it was potentially lower than that. But another small group of people. And again, this year we see them finding a way to downsize once again, which is a shame to see that they're doing it in the live esports department as heavily as they are, because I would have hoped that they found a way to improve that process with everyone being at home a lot and find a way to continue esports in a highly visible and well-marketed way without there being the giant silly events that they insisted on immediately doing once they started trying to get that off the ground. To me personally, this looks like they're already starting to pull out of the esports market, one that they heavily invested in, almost I think more than anyone else. Like hundreds of millions of dollars went into this. They got a lot of other businesses on board. Like, they put a lot into this, and I can understand that Corona could have been a huge setback for them, but I don't want them to nuke this department and pack it all in when this is a time where you could set up a new environment and do amazing. And this is what they say they're doing, but I kind of doubt it. Just a little baby bit. I feel like that is more or less a crafted response, like we have seen crafted responses for all their other waves of layoffs. And the long and short of it is, guys, I'm pretty sure the Blizzard that a lot of us grew up with, that a lot of us still enjoy some of their games, is pretty much dead at this point. And the reason that I'm very confident in saying that is, at this point, all three of the original founders for Blizzard have gone. Like, they essentially, the last one left in 2019 when this new wave of yearly layoffs, while also seeing record profits, was occurring. I honestly don't feel like there is a whole lot more to say past that. It seems fairly transparent that since the original people have left, that we are seeing the Activision influence basically turn this into EA, which means it's still going to be walking around in front of us, but it's hard. We all know it's dead. That's a lifeless, soulless thing that we now all have to deal with. It's just like a new monster being born into the world. And I just want to make sure that everyone's aware that Blizzard's in its death throes. This is what we're seeing. Also, a few of you might have seen a video Asmongold did a couple of months ago where a developer from the World of Warcraft team left and posted a YouTube video about why he left and why he feel like the vision at the company has changed. There's a lot of going into this, and I definitely recommend looking up and checking out that video so that you can hear the words directly from someone that was working within Blizzard and why they felt they needed to leave. But it's a shame. It's a real shame. I feel like they're prioritizing profits over the amazing things that they could be doing with live sports, that they could be doing with these games. But we're slowly just going to see this turn into a EA situation. So, it's fun. It's fun. I also wonder how many of these people are from projects that are now either finished or in the final stages of wrapping up, and they've potentially gotten what they've needed out of these people and don't have a lot of reason to keep them on now that the product's done. I honestly can't put anything past Blizzard at this point, and that makes me sad. I grew up with this company. I love this company a lot, but I'm pretty sure the company that I grew up with that inspired me is no longer there. Hey, Guilty Gear Games has some of the guys that made Diablo 2 when they, ran into this same wall 15 years ago and realized they needed to leave to keep their artistic vision for their games at where they want to be. So, again, nothing new, but this is a worrying sign that we're seeing yearly consistent layoffs with a company that is this big, is making an insane amount of money, and still cutting the throats of their own people. So, just thought it would be cool to take some shots at them today. I really appreciate you guys. Let me know what you guys think of covering news things like this, and if we should try this kind of thing more often. I'm not sure if this would really fall under the petty ain't playing stuff. I feel like it does, but I feel like I'm definitely going to have to keep working on and workshop and get that in a good place. But yeah, you know, we're working on it. We're working on it. But thank you to everyone that participated in the poll, that let me know that you guys were interested in, you know, doing some deep dives and stuff like this. And hopefully, if this video does well enough, we can keep doing some of these and everything and work them in. For all my Genshin people, we have a new character to take a look at tomorrow. Nep has been dropping some fire, literally. And it looks like we're going to have a new fire catalyst user, which is huge. I am super excited for that. Lisa's still one of my favorite characters, just because it's so very satisfying to use a catalyst weapon type with an element, because you're just throwing lightning around. It's a good time, and I can't wait to set a bunch of stuff on fire with just my hands. It's kind of a dream of mine. But thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I appreciate them faces. You're gonna have to catch your boy in the next one, because we're out of here. Deuces.